Hey guys, Chuck with checkout.com, and I've got a question for you. Is your network marketing business growing quickly enough to make you happy? Are people coming in fast enough, or is it kind of slow? You're seeing people sign up and then people drop off, and you just don't see the growth like you'd like to. If that sounds like you, and you'd like to see it, your team build a little quicker, then stick with me for the next few minutes because I want to share something with you that when I first got started, I totally missed. So if you're new to this channel, click the little red subscribe button down there in the bottom right corner, and also the little bell. It'll give you an alert each time I post a new video. And also, if you give me a thumbs up if you get value from the video, that would be great. It really helps the video. And so let's dive into this. Now, when I first got involved in network marketing, as I said, I had to create a list. So I created a list of people that I knew. And some of those people that I brought into the business joined. Eventually, I ran out of people that I knew that I could share the business with to. Either I'd shared it with them, several times. In fact, there was even times when I actually drove over to the people's home and just, hey, here I am, and I've got my books, and I gotta share this with you. You got to take a look at it because I'm getting stonewalled on the phone. I wouldn't take no for an answer. I was brutal with my recruiting efforts. Anyway, I ran out of people eventually that I could do that with, and so I had to change my. At least I believed I had to change what I was doing, and so what I did was I decided I would call leads, and so I started buying leads. I bought them for $2 a piece initially. Even some of them I only paid $1 for, and I listened to training calls on how to call these leads, and I thought, boy, this is going to be so cool because here I am buying leads. I'm actually going to be I'm going to be able to present my business to people who actually want to do a business, and they were some of the people that I got on the phone with were so rude. I mean, but you couldn't hardly blame them, I guess, because some of them have been called like dozens of times. So who wants to say, I don't want to do a home-based business, stop calling me? I mean, how many times do you say that before you start blowing up on people? Well, I had my phone blew up a number of times. I get off the phone, I go, wow, do I really want to dial my next number? And you think I'm paying money for this. And there was one type of lead that I bought because I started off with $1 lead, and then I went to what's called a phone verified lead, and that's where the company that has the leads supposedly calls this person up and confirms that they actually want to receive information about working from home, creating a business that they can generate an income from home. And I thought, hey, I'm paying an extra $1, sometimes $2.50 for a lead. But you know what? These are going to be much higher quality, and I'm not going to get the phone slammed down on my ear as many times. And so I started calling those leads, and most of them, I would say 99% of them, were just absolute junk. And I don't even, honestly, I can't even remember even ever signed anybody up with a lead that I bought for a couple bucks. Honestly, can't say that I did. I did listen to training calls where people were doing it, so I'm going to just chalk it up most in part because I just wasn't good at calling a $2 lead. So, but then I was introduced to another lead, and it was this fellow that was creating these leads, generating them, was doing it on Christian radio, and the caliber of people that I was talking to were very sincere, very genuine people, and they really did want to hear about a business. Now, it was great because I was actually paying, I started off paying around $5 a lead, but within a very short period of time, the price had doubled, and I was paying like $10 a lead. I'd pay $100 and I'd get 10 leads. And, when you first think about that, that sounds like crazy talk. Why would you pay $100 just to get 10 people to talk to? But as it turned out, I became very effective on the phone with those leads, and I'd signed 2 or 3 people up out of every 10 people that I called. And I was actually recruiting and having people listen in. It wasn't every Monday night. Our team would host a lead generation call lead calling session, and people would listen to me call leads that I had to contact. And so I would be signing people up over the phone. It was great. But $10 a lead, you are going to sign somebody up into your business, and you're going to say it's going to cost you $100. Generally, it's around $100 to $200 minimum to get into a network marketing business on a monthly basis. So let's just say hypothetically that the husband and the wife are both going to use the product of whatever it is you're marketing, and it's costing you $200 a month. Do they really want to spend another $100 or $200 for advertising? And I actually was getting people to sign up that night. I'd get them to sign up for the business, and then I'd get them to sign up for 2 shares of this advertising co-op, and that cost them $200 a month. So when I talked to them after I was done, they were committed to spending $400 a month. The problem with that, in spite of the fact that I was effective at bringing people in, I was not able to duplicate myself out very well. I brought in people, and of course, and I got them signed up with leads, but they weren't having the same success as I was. Maybe because they hadn't called all those $1 and $2 leads that I'd been calling in the past. For whatever reason, they weren't as effective at it as I was. And so, my business grew, and I won trips. Actually my wife and I went to Jamaica with this company that I went over to with, and I actually I actually was with one company prior to this other one, and I had qualified. I only had to have another 2 or 3 months with my customer volume, and I would have got a trip to Thailand, all expenses paid for Pat and I, my wife. But as it was, I decided to move to a different company, and I still want a trip to Jamaica. So it wasn't that I wasn't having success myself calling leads. I just was having a real challenge getting anybody to have the same level of success that I was. And I was actually getting up in the morning at 9. I was be on the phone about 9 o'clock in the morning, and notwithstanding breakfast or dinner and supper, I'd be on the phone again till 9 o'clock at night. Every night. And I did that Monday to Friday. I generally would work till about 5 or 6 on Saturdays. I didn't work on Sundays. But that's a lot of lead calling. And you know what? I gained. There was something that I missed. There was something that I missed when I was doing the warm market calling, and there was something that when I was calling friends and family, and there was something that I missed when I was calling leads. And I'm going to share with you what that was here in a moment. And if you want, go ahead and see if you can take a guess and figure out what it was that I was missing. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So I called all the friends and family that I could put down on my book, and I ran out of people to call. I just wasn't able to replace the people quick enough. So I thought, you know what? Maybe what I should do is I should buy leads. That would be very time saving. I could just sit on the phone and just call people who actually want to do business. So they'd raise their hand and go, "Hey, call me." So I paid my buck. I'd give them a call, and you know what? I called hundreds of absolute, maybe even thousands of those leads because I'm very stubborn. And I called those leads, and 99.99% of those people did not want to do a business. In fact, they had been called to death. The company that I bought the leads from, and I used a number of companies, so it wasn't just one, but they must have been selling these leads, these cheap leads, to everybody over and over. So the same lead might be sold, say, 1,000 times. So I was calling these people up. They'd get downright ignorant on the phone with me when I call them, and I thought, you know what, I'd rather hit my hand with a hammer than keep doing this. So I thought they had a different kind of a lead. It was called a phone verified lead, and I thought, man, that's exactly what I need, is a phone verified lead. So I started calling phone verified leads, and I was very disciplined. I don't think of, in the team that I was with which were made up of about 9,000 people, I don't think anybody had a better work regimen than I did. I would get up around 9 in the morning, and I wouldn't stop till 9 o'clock at night. Anyway, I had these telephone verified leads, and I was certain that these were going to be the answer to my challenge. I wanted to build my business, and I was going to use leads. And so I'd call these people up, and just like before, they had been called to death. Most of them, were either hanging up on the phone on me, or they were they'd go into a barrage of swearing at me. And there's a saying that in network marketing, you have to have the skin of an alligator in the heart of a lamb. And I certainly developed that alligator skin over a period of time because I got so abused over the phone. So, but as it turned out, I did come across a different lead source. It was a gentleman, a really nice guy, and he was a Christian fellow. He was doing radio advertising. He had a co-op set up, and I started buying his leads. And what I found was these leads were really different than any of the other leads that I'd ever called. These were people who had responded to a radio advertisement, and they genuinely wanted to do a business from home, and they had not been sold twice like the other leads have been sold like hundreds of times. These weren't even sold twice. They weren't shared with anybody. They were exclusive to me. And what I found was that I was able to sign up about 3 out of every 10 people that I called, which was probably a good thing because they started off at about $5 a lead, which made me wince a little bit when I first started going because I didn't have any money coming in. My business was brand new, and I'm spending all this money. My wife was going, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to do this anyway." So $5 a lead, but very, very soon after I had started using them, I think probably within about 4 months, the leads had doubled in price. They were now like $10 a lead. But it didn't matter because I was signing up 3 out of every 10 people that I brought in. The problem that I faced with that is that even though I was effective at calling leads and I was getting people to sign up, and you figure that, most network marketing businesses, generally your monthly commitment to the network marketing business for the product or service that you're getting is generally around $100 to $200, and probably closer to $200 than $100. And certainly for us, about the 4th month in, my wife and I both were using the product that we had at that time, and so our cost for the product was $200 a month. And here I've got 2 shares of these co-op leads, and each share cost me $100. I was actually getting people when they signed up with me to do exactly the same thing that I did, to commit to 2 shares of leads. So they were, when I recruited somebody into the business, they were spending $200 a month for anywhere between $100 to $200 a month for the product, and they were spending $200 a month for advertising to get leads so that they call people just like I did. And again, the rationale being was, hey, if you call these leads, you're going to sign people up, and you don't even have to call friends and family to do it. That was kind of the overriding mantra that, hey, you don't have to call friends and family, you can call these leads. And I actually, over the course of about 6 years, I developed a very strong following. My team was doing about at that time, this was in 2008. At that time, my team was doing about $500,000 in monthly, in annual business. And so, it was showing success. I actually, I left that company, but had I stayed with the company 4 more months, I'd already qualified for a trip for 2 to Thailand to an amazing resort, and but I chose to leave. But even with that, I went over to another company, and I won a trip for Pat and I to Jamaica. Pat's my wife, and we went to Jamaica. And at that time, I was having so much success with calling these leads. I had over 500 people every Monday night would listen in on me calling leads. They wanted to learn how I was doing it. What I learned is that although the leads were great, I was not that duplicatable. And people would get on the phone, they'd be afraid, they'd be nervous, and at $10 a pop, when you call 3 people and you blow 3 calls, it's very easy to believe this is a waste of money, and you stop charging all this stuff up on your credit card. So I was seeing people come in, get the advertising, go for 2 or 3 months, and then generally, a good many of them would drop off. So fortunately, I was a machine, so I was signing up. I signed up, I think, 5 people in one day, just between about 9 in the morning till about 5 in the evening. So I was recruiting quite a bit. I'd have people drop off. I needed them as a leader. Don't worry, I'll replace them. I would quickly replace the leader in one day. But That's not duplicatable. That's not how you want to build a network marketing business. I went to a convention and I got up on stage in front of 800 people, 800 to 1,000 people, and one of my upline, his wife was sitting there listening to me tell my story about how I was calling leads from 9 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. She actually started to cry. She felt so bad for me uh, because this didn't seem like, was the price worth it? So, calling leads, not a great solution. Okay, so there was something that I missed when I was doing my warm market. When I was marketing towards my friends and family, you know what? And rather than me just signing up, my friend or a family member, and then going on to another friend or another family member, I missed something. I wasn't networking. My only experience in sales prior to doing network marketing was in car sales. And what I did was I would sell a car and then I would go and get back on the lot and find another person who'd walk in and I'd sell that person a car. So it was always about selling one time, one time, one time. But network marketing is not the same thing. Network marketing, or some people call it viral marketing, is about getting one person to join and then helping them to get people to join. So when I was calling my friends and family, I should have been going in and helping them call people that they know. So, because I did sign up people that were my friends, and I did sign up some family members. So why not get on the phone with them and say, hey, let's call a few people that you know, and we'll get them to we actually were having hotel meetings every Monday night. So rather than just saying, hey, see if you can get some people to the meeting, rather than doing it, just leaving it up to them to do it. Because the thing is, when I first started doing this, I had anxiety. Well, they have anxiety too. They don't want to do this. They're feeling nervous about doing it. Okay, but I'm over that now. So why don't I get on the phone and help them and show them? So they introduced me on the phone, say, hey, my good friend Chuck is here with me on the phone, and Chuck, this is George, Chuck. And I go, hey, George, and then I introduce myself to him and tell him about, it's find out if they'd be interested in making some income from home. Or maybe, because I was marketing a telecom product, maybe they'd be interested in saving some money. So I was helping them either get customers or helping them get business members. That's what I should have been doing, but I didn't do it. I was selling people into the business, and I was bang, bang, bang. When I was calling those $10 leads, guess what I did? Yeah, I sold. I was actually, when I finished marketing, I was actually signing up 3 people sometimes in a day. and I was paying $10 a lead. So these leads were great. I mean, I was not wasting my money because I was actually getting good results. But rather than spending thousands of dollars a month, because I was spending $3,000 a month on leads. Rather than doing that, what I should have done was, take my leads and go, get some people to join and then help them do it without having to buy leads. Just get into their warm market. It was a way for me to expand my group, but rather than doing that, I just kept selling. So sell. And it's a complete waste of time. Guys, you're in network marketing, and you need to understand that, we're concerned about a pandemic hitting. Well, what is a pandemic? A pandemic is when one person catches a bug from somebody who catches a bug from somebody who catches a bug from somebody, and it goes viral, and then they're worried that millions could die. That they're saying that there's a great pandemic coming soon. Well, what is a pandemic? Be the pandemic. Get into people's warm markets, help them. Now, I will say this: when I was calling the $10 leads, the one thing that I did do right was I was actually holding calls Monday, once a week, generally on Mondays, and I would have upwards of 500 to 1,000 people listening to me call these leads and bringing people in, so that they would learn how to do it. The problem is that they weren't as effective as I was, and so again, like I said before, generally they call, a few people, for a few months, and then they just drop off, they quit. So fortunately, I was able to help, keep the numbers up, but a lot of work, spent a lot of money, and I didn't do network marketing. So if you want to get a sales job, don't do network marketing. Don't do multi-level marketing, because multi-level marketing optin.com/network marketing is not about selling people into a business and then going finding somebody else. It's about bringing somebody into your team and then getting into their warm market and getting that virus to spread. Okay, so always keep that in mind. It's viral marketing. Now, video leads, you don't have to spend $200 a month to get 20 people to talk to. You can create some videos just like I'm doing right now. I'm just talking into the camera. It's recording me. And I post this video on YouTube, maybe on Facebook, Twitter, and a few other social media sites. And people are watching these videos. So that once the video is up there, it's up there forever. I don't have to go and, repost it. It's just there. That's the power of video marketing. And you do something one time. This is always what you hear in network marketing. Do something one time and keep getting paid over and over and over again. Well, that was not happening for me when I was calling one person, signing one person up, and 3 months later they quit, and I go sign somebody else up. That was not viral marketing. So video leads is a great way to go because you don't have to spend money every month to buy leads. You just have to create a few videos. You can use your smartphone. You can use, if you got a webcam like I've got right now, that's what I'm talking into as a webcam, or whatever. You just simply record yourself and post the videos on YouTube and a few other social media sites. So I'm gonna tighten this up. I'm not gonna keep this video too much longer, but I just wanted to say, why use video to get leads? Well, here's a stat for you: 1.5 billion people. 1.5 billion people are watching 5 billion videos on YouTube each and every single day. 365 days a year. Do the math, multiply that out, and you tell me. Does that make sense not to get your hand up and say, hey, I've got a video, you got to watch this. I can help you make some money from home. Do you know anybody, and really when you think about it, do you know anybody who would like to earn an income from home? I mean, how many people would like to stay at home with their kids? Most people. Most people would like to have more time or usually both, but time or money. And most people don't have either. You go to the dock, you look at all the sailboats, and most of them, are sitting there on shore because people have to work. They can't afford to be out on the ocean. So the docks are all filled with all these boats. They're not enjoying them. They're working. So we've got something that people want, and with video, you can get your message out to, how about 1.5 billion people a day. Now, obviously, not 1.5 billion are going to watch your video, but you don't need to have 1.5 billion. What if you had 20 or 30 people watching out of 1.5 billion? Would that make a difference in your day? So let's just do the math. Let's just say you had 20 people a day watching your video, and one person out of one person out of 30 watched your video, and they said, I want to learn more about it. And you didn't have to call them. They're probably gonna fill out I'm gonna talk about this later, but they're gonna fill out a form and say, hey, call me, or they're going to see if you have a phone number, and they're gonna call you. I mean, they're taking the initiative to say, hey, I'm interested. I want to learn more. Now, doesn't that make more sense? Now, then again, you've got the leads. Now you're going to get into their warm market. Always remember, you're going to get into their warm market. So how do I get leads? Okay, well, the first thing you want to do is you want to create your video, and you want to have what's called an opt-in. That's where you would take somebody's name, phone number, and email address, and then contact them back either by email yourself, or maybe you pick up the phone and just simply give them a call. But that's what you want to do. And it's not, once you get the system set up, it's simple. It's on autopilot. It's just there with the video. They watch the video and they go, yeah, I'm interested. I'd like to learn more about this. And they put their contact information in, and you give them a call back. Now that's way better than spending $10 a lead that I was doing, and it's duplicatable. All you have to know is, hey, can I? How do I get this smartphone of mine to take a video of me that I can post up on YouTube? Now, obviously, there's a bit more to it than that, but it's not It's not rocket science. It's something that's simple. Anybody can do it. All you have to do is learn how to do it. And then once you've got the system set up, it's running. It's going to run on autopilot. Those videos are going to be up there, and people are going to be watching your videos and asking for information about your business. To have success in network marketing, you have to have a duplicatable system, something that everybody can plug into and start having immediate success with. If you can't get your people trained right away, what you're going to see is that pretty soon they're going to just drop off. And when I say pretty soon, I've seen them drop off within well, typically most people drop off within 90 days, just simply because they either don't have any success or they don't know what to do, or a combination thereof. You want to help people as much as you can, and when your system is outgrown, when your system has become so large, you can't be there personally for everybody that comes into your organization. You can start leveraging yourself using systems, and that's what I'll do is I'll put a link down below. You can check out the one that I'm using, and if it makes sense to you, great. I think it's even got a script that I use when I'm calling leads that I had so much success with. But the bottom line is, have a system and follow it. Get your people plugged into it. Get your people trained using the same system. You know, network marketing can be an awful lot of fun, and you can make a tremendous income if you work hard at it and you're not a quitter. Now, obviously, the income is totally dependent on you. There's no guarantees. You know, if you want to have a guarantee, keep your JOB. They'll pay you at least until they say they're going to downsize the company, or you're fired, or you're too old, or whatever. But but for at least for a time anyway, if you work for an hour, they're going to pay you X amount of dollars, and so you can count on it at the end of the month when you have to pay your mortgage. But if you want to have something beyond that, they call it the 20-year, the 40-year lie. You work for 40 years, only to retire at 65, either dead broke, or dead or broke. So, or you could do something like this, get it going viral, and create an opportunity for yourself that you would never have had if you just stuck with your job. Now, if you have a full-time job, don't go and quit your job. I wouldn't tell anybody to do that. Build your business alongside of what you're doing. Create some videos right now. Start posting videos and start generating that income alongside of what you're doing right now. Okay? And again, if you want to see the system that I use, I'll put the link down below this video. So I wish you all the best with your marketing efforts. And if you're brand new to this channel, make sure you click that little red subscribe button and the little bell, and it'll give you an alert each time I post a brand new video. And also, if you would, give me a thumbs up if you got value from this video. So again, you take care, and I wish you all the best. I'll see you on the next training call.